black shirt and axle. Standard FS,
Leave me alone.
the shirt will take care of it.
Chief General Officer Spencer. I know. You'll be up.
Good afternoon. I am Technical Sergeant Laura Ashline for the Tinker Area Defense Council Office.
And I am Staff Sergeant Alicia Nicholson from the 72nd Logistics Readiness Squadron, and who will be your MCs for today's ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of colors by the Tinker Honor Guard and the singing of the National Anthem by Staff Sergeant Timothy Orr.
Colors. Attention. Attention. Forward. Up. Ready. Step. Colors. Halt. Resent. Up. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, arms. Colors. Colors turn. Arms.
Chaplain first. Who's waiting?
Chaplain First Lieutenant Owen Dahlquist, please come forward to offer the invocation.
Good afternoon. Please join with me in prayer or in your own faith tradition. Father, these graduates have come a long way since their first class of instruction. All have worked hard. Each has made the grade. This day represents a well-deserved reward for extraordinary efforts. Personal goals have been met, and the future looks just a bit brighter because these men and women have done and given their best. As they take their steps as graduates, guide them every step of the way. Broaden their sense of justice and love, and let compassion be the hallmark of their leadership. Whatever life may have in store for them, give them the wisdom and discernment, as well as strength and determination to take it head on. May everything these graduates do and pursue be taken on with their best effort, and may you guide their steps to where they need to be. We thank you for all you've done and for helping these graduates as they grow to give their best in everything they do. It is in your name that we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Honor Guard, Sergeant Ord, and Chaplain Dahlquist.
On behalf of our host, Colonel Abby Rochetta, Commander 72nd Air Base Wing, and the Tinker Education Services Center, it is a pleasure to welcome you to the Community College of the Air Force Commencement Ceremony.
Today, we will formally present diplomas to Tinker's enlisted men and women who earned their Associate in Applied Science degree from the Community College of the Air Force during fall 2023, spring 2024, and fall 2024 classes.
We would like to introduce our distinguished guests and who continuously display their strong support of Air Force enlisted education. We greatly appreciate you.
It is our pleasure to welcome today's guest speaker, Technical Sergeant Randy Johnson, Paralegal Manager, Office of the Staff Judge Advocate, Air Force Sustainment Center.
Representing Colonel Abby Rochetta, Commander 72nd Air Base Wing, Colonel Tamlin Dismuse.
Chief Master Sergeant Chris Cradell, Command Chief, 72nd Air Base Wing.
Brigadier General Brian Moore, Commander, Oklahoma City Air Logistics Complex.
Senior Master Sergeant Eric Wexler, Senior Enlisted Leader, Oklahoma City Air Logistics Complex. Ms. Renee Taylor, Acting Director, Air Force Sustainment Center Financial Management Directorate.
Colonel Kenneth Boyd, Commander, 552nd Air Control Wing.
Chief Master Sergeant Nikki Draco, Command Chief, 552nd Air Control Wing. Colonel Matthew Gormley, Commander, 507th Air Refueling Wing.
Colonel John Talafuse, Commander, Air Force Flight Standards Agency.
To all other commanders, directors, chiefs, and first sergeants in attendance today, thank you for being here. We would also like to recognize our community partners in attendance.
Representing the Air Force Association's Garrity Chapter 215, retired Chief Master Sergeant Walt Kula.
Representing the Tinker Top 3, retired Senior Master Sergeant William Pete Piazza.
Representing the Tinker's Chiefs Group, Chief Master Sergeant Chad Gordon.
Now we would like to take a special opportunity to acknowledge our community partners whose donations made today's graduation possible. On behalf of the committee, I would like to thank the Tinker Spouses Club, the Tinker Commissary, the United Service Organizations, and Crest Foods for their donations.
Additionally, we would like to recognize the dedicated members of the Base Education Services Center and the on-base school representative in the audience, without whom our graduates would not be here.
We are especially pleased to have our graduates, their family members, friends, and coworkers who have supported them in their studies here to share in today's celebration. Welcome.
This CCAF graduation and honoring the 157 airmen who completed their degrees in the fall of 2023 and the spring and fall of 2024. Because this is their first graduation since 2022, many of our graduates could not be here to celebrate with us today due to permanent changes of station, deployments, and other mission requirements.
In September 2022, the old CCAF system was taken offline. It wasn't until July of 2023 when it came back partially, but had many glitches which caused setbacks for the Education Service Center team.
With the new system, it takes a minimum of 1 hour for an education counselor to pull a member's records from the CCAF system and conduct initial research into their records. Once the initial action request is submitted, it can often take months of going back and forth between the Education Services Center and CCAF to ensure the credits are applied and the actions are completed.
While we haven't gotten to celebrate graduations, it doesn't mean nothing was going on behind the scenes. The Education Service Center staff has spent years working as the liaison between the graduates and the CCAF. For example, they orchestrated resolution of missing CCAF credit for students who attended accredited formal training at the 552nd Training Squadron.
The Education Service Center attempted to bridge the gap between the two sources, re-engaging them periodically over 2 years as the situation was hindering students from earning degrees. It was discovered that when CCAF transferred to the new operation system, the course numbers no longer aligned and the system didn't recognize them.
CCAF is now pulling rosters dating back to 2022 to ensure members who attended training at the 552nd Training Squadron receive their CCAF credit. This will ensure that going forward, the issue will be resolved for future students. Additionally, the resolution can be applied towards other Air Force courses. The impact of the resolution is global. Locally, it is estimated that 120 students' CCAF degrees were potentially affected annually.
That is just one of many examples of the extraordinary efforts put forth by the Education Service Center staff to ensure our airmen get their degrees they've worked hard for. CCAF graduates exemplify American higher education by using their skills to enhance the capabilities of the Air Force. And as a result, they strengthen the foundation of our nation.
The Tinker graduates before you today add to the legacy of nearly 600,000 degrees awarded since the college's inception in 1974.
It is also worth noting that 93% of service members holding the rank of Master Sergeant or higher also have a CCAF degree, which makes it evident that earning the associate's degree from the CCAF is critical to an airman's career progression.
Our guest speaker entered active duty in September 2008 and is currently the paralegal manager in the Air Force Sustainment Center. She graduated from the Security Forces Apprentice Technical Training Course in February 2009 and was assigned to F.E. Warren Air Force Base in Wyoming, where she gained an extensive knowledge in missile security, personnel reliability program management, security manager duties for over 1,200 security forces personnel, and battle staff knowledge for nuclear surety inspections. She was selected via the Developmental Special Duty Program to become an Airman Leadership School instructor in January 2016. After 4 years of service as an instructor, she retrained into the paralegal career field in September of 2020. In addition to all of that, she has earned 2 CCAFs for both criminal justice and instructor technology and science. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce Technical Sergeant Randy Johnson.
Hi everybody, how you doing today? Good. All right. And hello to my graduates. Thank you for having me as your guest speaker today. It's an honor, and honestly, it is a privilege. You already heard that I'm Technical Sergeant Randy Johnson, and you already heard my Air Force bio, so I decided that it would be very important when discussing the importance of education to me, to share a little bit of my personal bio. Number one thing, I hail from the great nation of Texas. Woo! Top one. But additionally, on my mother's side, I am second generation American, granddaughter to a Mexican immigrant who was a sharecropper for farmers across this nation, the best dancer and a true dreamer who never had the opportunity to attend school, but made sure that all 6 of her children did. On my father's side, I'm a descendant of slaves who then went on to fight in countless wars for the United States, but were also denied the opportunity to pursue a formal education. And on that same side, I am a proud 3rd generation Air Force by way of my grandfather and my father, who have also attained multiple college degrees and inspired me. True patriots in every way and a legacy to be proud of. It would be all for naught if I stood here today and I did not acknowledge and show gratitude to the roots that were watered and nurtured for me to even be here in the first place. Today I stand before you to discuss a topic that resonates deeply with each one of us in this room, which is the importance of education. Education is not merely a pathway to knowledge. It is the bridge that connects our dreams to reality, our potential to achievement, and our aspirations to action. In a world that is constantly evolving, education serves as our compass, guiding us through the complexities of life and empowering us to make informed choices. I hope by sharing my story with you today that I shed light on how momentous today truly is, not just for me, but for all of you. I started my Air Force career in 2008, and I come from a diverse background. My father has a PhD and my mother has a GED. But both of them were dedicated to raising me the best way they knew how and made sure that my main focus was on my education. I always wanted to attend college, but a trip down the wrong path in high school led me to have a less than favorable GPA. And I found out when high school ended that that was no longer an option for me. However, I was reminded by my mother that the Air Force worked out extremely well for my father, a PhD and 23 years of meritorious service to be exact. So I decided that it was gonna work for me in that exact same way. I left home and never looked back, but at the front of my mind was always my want for education. Shortly after I joined, I ended up pregnant with my oldest daughter, Elizabeth. I was 19, terrified. I had been in the Air Force less than a year. I was a security forces troop working nuclear weapons. The odds felt stacked against me. I was told that I should get out, that I shouldn't waste the Air Force money trying to go to school unless I was gonna stay in, and that I had made the biggest mistake of my life. But I stayed the course, not only by deciding to be a mother to Lizzie, but to stay an airman, not give up my GI Bill, and my want and need for my education. There was nothing that could get in my way. So 7 weeks after I gave birth to my daughter, I enrolled in school. Being a single mom was a journey filled with challenges, triumphs, each day presenting new hurdles for me to overcome. Balancing the responsibilities of parenting while pursuing an education often felt like a daunting task, and honestly, I wanted to quit sometimes. Juggling schoolwork, parenting duties, and everyday demands of life just led to exhaustion. But my desire to create a better future for my daughter and myself drove me forward. I wanted to be a role model for her, demonstrating that perseverance and hard work can lead to success, regardless of the obstacles we face. Every late night that I spent studying, every missed family outing, and every moment of doubt was a step forward, not just for my own aspirations, but also the promise of a brighter future for Lizzie. Despite these challenges, pursuing an education has been one of the most rewarding decisions I've ever made. It's opened doors to new opportunities and equipped me with skills necessary to provide a stable and fulfilling life for myself, not just personally, but professionally inside the Air Force. The support I received from my children, my troops, my husband, my parents, my mentors, and my mentees is unmatched. Their unwavering belief in my dreams and the small victories along the way, like acing an exam or completing a project or sitting here in your blues to get a CCAF, serves as powerful reminders of why we're here on this path. Each challenge I face not only strengthened my resolve, but also deepened my understanding of resilience. I'm determined to show everyone around me that education is a powerful tool, one that can break cycles, change narratives, and ultimately lead to a life filled with possibilities. And I challenge all of you sitting here to do the same. And I'm proud to say that not only does Elizabeth want to attend college, but she's got the grades and the work ethic to do so. Having a CCAF degree is important for several reasons. Firstly, it provides service members with a structured pathway to further their education while balancing their military commitments. Obtaining a CCAF degree signifies a commitment to personal growth and lifelong learning. It demonstrates to your current and your future employers that you value education and you're willing to invest the time into your own self-improvement. This degree can also open doors for advancement within the military, taking your career to new heights and giving you eligibilities that you may have never had before. Additionally, it provides a foundation for pursuing further education, whether it be through bachelor's programs, master's programs, or even specialized training. In essence, a CCAF degree not only enhances your skill set, but also serves as a stepping stone towards achieving long-term goals, whether in military service or civilian life. Moreover, continuing to pursue education sets an example for others. I remember when a supervisor got my CCAF degrees framed for me when I got the second one. And at the time, I didn't understand why it was so important for her to do so. But over the years, when people enter my office and they notice that there's not one, but 2 CCAF degrees hanging on the wall, they are in awe. They ask me how, and that has given me a sense of pride and joy. Whether you're a parent, a friend, or a colleague, your commitment to learning inspires those around you to follow suit. It creates a ripple effect, one that can transform communities, ignite passions. Imagine the impact we can have when we collectively embrace the idea that education is a lifelong journey. We cultivate an environment where curiosity thrives, where questioning is encouraged, and where growth is celebrated. Throughout history, countless individuals have demonstrated the transformative power of education. Consider the story of Ruby Bridges, who despite facing unimaginable adversity, stood up for the right to education for herself and others, just like her in the United States. Her courage and determination reminds us that education is not just a privilege, it's a fundamental human right. And education fuels innovation, nurtures creativity and critical thinking, skills that are indispensable in our rapidly changing society. Education fosters empathy and understanding in our diverse world. It is education that teaches us to appreciate different cultures, perspectives, experiences. It opens our minds, it opens our hearts, and encourages us to engage with others in meaningful ways. Through education, we can build bridges of understanding and cultivate our society. So as we reflect on the significance of education, let us also acknowledge the role we play in this journey, whether as students, educators, or mentors. We have the power to inspire and uplift one another. Every question we ask, every lesson we share, every moment we spend nurturing curiosity contributes to a larger tapestry of knowledge. So I urge you all to embrace the opportunities education presents you. Read voraciously, question relentlessly, and strive to learn something new every day. Remember that education doesn't end in the classroom or here on this stage. It is a lifelong pursuit that enriches our lives and those around us. Ask yourself, who will I inspire with my story? Who will go further because of my actions today? Who will see my CCAF degree on the wall and decide that today is the day to start on the same path that you are on and will continue to stay on? Let us celebrate education as a powerful tool for change. It is the key to unlocking our potential, fostering understanding, and building a brighter future for generations to come. As you all continue your educational journeys, I hope that you carry with you the conviction that knowledge is a gift meant to be shared. Together we can inspire others, uplift our communities, and create a world where education is not just accessible but cherished. I am personally so proud of you. Congratulations on this momentous occasion. Aim high.
Thank you very much, Sergeant Johnson.
The Community College of the Air Force is an institution of higher learning dedicated to the enlisted members of the United States Air Force and is part of the Air University. Air University is accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission of Colleges to award the associate, bachelor's, master's, and doctor of philosophy degrees.
Air University achieved regional accreditation in 2004. Previously, the Community College of the Air Force was separately accredited by SAC as COC from 1980 to 2003. This means credits earned through the CCAF are equivalent to similar credits earned at civilian institutions of higher learning.
The mission of CCAF is to offer and award job-related associates and applied science degrees and other academic credentials that enhance mission readiness, contribution to recruiting, assist in retention, and support the career transitions of Air Force enlisted members.
The vision of CCAF is to continue to be the community college of choice, providing a path to higher learning for those with a calling to serve. The United States Air Force has long recognized the positive effects of education on Air Force personnel. This led to the Community College of the Air Force concept in the early 1970s as a means of formal recognition for Air Force training.
In 1975, the Air Force sought degree granting authority from Congress. President Gerald Ford signed Public Law 94-361, 14 July 1976, authorizing the Air Force to confer the associate's degree.
Each degree program requires a total of 60 semester hours. It combines college-level technical and management training earned at Air Force Technical Training and professional military education schools affiliated with CCAF with a core of general education courses earned through various civilian college sources.
We are here today because these graduates before you have completed all academic requirements and are now fully qualified to receive their diplomas.
Chief Gradell, please come forward to officially confer the Associate in Applied Science degrees. Graduates, please stand.
On behalf of the Commandant, Community College of the Air Force, I certify these graduates have met all the requirements for the Associate in Applied Science degree. By virtue of the authority vested in law by Congress of the United States, in the name of Lieutenant General Andrea D. Toulos, Commander and President of Air University. I do hereby confirm that upon each graduate, the degree of Associate in Applied Science with all associated rights and privileges. Well done. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You are CCF graduates.
Thank you, Chief Gradell. Graduates, please prepare for graduation.
We ask Colonel Dismukes to please join Chief Gradell on stage to present the graduates with their diplomas.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to introduce today's graduates and announce the degrees they have earned.
Receiving the Associate in Aerospace Ground Equipment Technology, Technical Sergeant Patrick Pineda, 373rd Training Squadron. Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Air and Space Operations Technology, Senior Airman Joseph Galehouse, 960th Airborne Air Control Squadron.
Receiving the Associates in Applied Science degree for Air Force Aircraft Structural Maintenance Technology, Staff Sergeant Brandon Cook, 72nd Force Support Squadron. Staff Sergeant Ryan Frederick, 76th Aircraft Maintenance Group.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Air and Space Operations Technology, Technical Sergeant Michael Nicetwin, 966 Airborne Air Control Squadron. Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Air Crew Safety Systems Technology, Senior Airman Kyle Howard, 552nd Operations Support Squadron. Technical Sergeant Derek Hughes, 552nd Operations Support Squadron.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Aviation Maintenance Technology, Senior Airman Molly Craig, 552nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron. Senior Airman Garrett Dildy, 552nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron. Staff Sergeant Tristan Rojas, 552nd Maintenance Group. Master Sergeant Abimael Roman LeBron, 552nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron. Master Sergeant Gregory Schneider, 76th Aircraft Maintenance Group.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Aviation Management, Staff Sergeant Brianna Inman, 966 Airborne Air Control Squadron. Senior Airman Anthony Johnson, 552nd Operations Support Squadron.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Avionics Systems Technology, Staff Sergeant James Humphrey, Oklahoma City Air Logistics Complex. Senior Airman Bridget Pease, 552nd Aircraft Maintenance Squadron. Staff Sergeant Nicholas Turner, 550 Commodities Maintenance Squadron. Senior Airman Christian Williams, 552nd Logistics Support Squadron.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Bioenvironmental Engineering Technology, Senior Airman Nicholas Castrovilli, 72nd Operations Medical Readiness Squadron. Senior Airman Savannah Matthews, 72nd Operations Medical Readiness Squadron.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Computer Science Technology, Staff Sergeant Eric Cater, 552nd Air Control Network Squadron.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Contracts Management, Senior Airman Michael Green, Air Force Sustainment Center. Technical Sergeant Javon Tharps, Air Force Sustainment Center.
Platoon, 72nd Security Forces Squadron.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Education and Training Management, Staff Sergeant Luis Orozco, 552nd Air Control Network Squadron.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Financial Management, Technical Sergeant Zachary Turpin, 552nd Air Control Wing.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Human Resource Management, Senior Airman Lena Harrison, 72nd Force Support Squadron.
That's my airman!
Staff Sergeant Erica Petty, 965th Airborne Air Control Squadron. Senior Airman Igor Milian, Air Force Sustainment Center. Staff Sergeant Jacqueline Caraway, 72nd Air Base Wing.
And that's my exec.
Senior Airman Kennedy Leverton, 72nd Air Force Support Squadron.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Information System Technology, Staff Sergeant Jennifer Castro Casara, 552nd Air Control Network Squadron. Technical Sergeant William Harrison, 552nd Air Control Network Squadron. Senior Airman Maya McFarland, 552nd Air Control Network Squadron.
That's my troop.
Staff Sergeant David Whitey, 552nd Air Control Network Squadron.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Intelligence Studies and Technology, Staff Sergeant Kalia Rooney, 552nd Operations Support Squadron. Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Paralegal, Technical Sergeant Paul Forquet Quinones, Tinker Area Defense Council Office.
Best DP in the business.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Physical Therapist Assistant, Staff Sergeant Aaron Perry, 72nd Operations Medical Squadron.
Receiving the Associate in Applied Science degree for Practical Nursing Technology, Staff Sergeant Alyssa Aguirre, 72nd Healthcare Operations Squadron. Senior Airman Miranda Hinson, 72nd Medical Group.
Receiving the Associates in Applied Science degree for Public Health Technology, Senior Airman Courtney Fowler, 72nd Operations Medical Readiness Squadron. Staff Sergeant Jasmine Trotzler, 72nd Force Support Squadron.
Associate in Applied Science degree for Transportation, Staff Sergeant Rebecca Sanders, 349th Recruiting Squadron.
Thank you, Colonel Dismute and Chief Burdell.
Graduates, please stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our privilege to present Team Tinker's Community College of the Air Force graduates.
Graduates, please be seated.
Representing the Air Force Pittsburgher Scholarship, Mr. Kula, AFA Garrity 215 Chapter President, please come forward to present the Pittsburgher Award. The Air and Space Forces Association salutes the continued education and personal development of airmen and guardians. As they improve themselves, they improve the Air Force and Space Force. AFA is proud to offer $750 cash awards to deserving airmen and guardians to pursue a bachelor's degree. The Central Oklahoma Garrity chapter is part of a large network of Air and Space Force Association chapters throughout the United States, Europe, and Asia, dedicated to United States dominance in air, space, and cyberspace, a strong national defense and support for the Air Force and Space Force Total Force family. To accomplish its mission, they undertake a number of programs and projects to educate, advocate, and The winner of the Pittsburgher Scholarship is Sergeant Brianna Inman.
Representing the Air Force Top 3 Scholarship, Mr. Piazza, please come forward to present the Piazza Award. This award is named for retired Senior Master Sergeant Piazza, a Silver Star recipient and an inductee of the Oklahoma Military Hall of Fame. His courageous service during the Vietnam War exemplifies the highest ideals of duty, honor, and sacrifice. Piazza's second tour in Vietnam from July 1967 to July 1968 was with the 3rd Security Police Squadron at Bain Hao Air Base near Saigon, where he served as a non-commissioned officer in charge of the Sea Flight Security Resupply Team. On the early morning of January 31st, 1968, a rocket barrage marked the start of the enemy's Tet offensive, with approximately 1,500 enemy combatants threatening to overrun the critical defense location known as Bunker Hill 10, which protected the aircraft flight line. The situation grew dire for the 425th Security Police and their augmentees. As ammunition quickly dwindled, then Staff Sergeant Piazza, without hesitation and under fire, drove his vehicle loaded with ammunition and flares directly to Bunker Hill 10, joining the fierce fighting. When the on-site commander, Captain Reginald Mazie, who later received the Air Force Cross, was killed in action, Piazza bravely assumed command. For his gallantry and leadership in that critical moment, he was awarded the Silver Star and the Air Force Outstanding Unit Award with Combat V device. The Piazza Scholarship is not only a tribute to his extraordinary valor, it also reflects a commitment to excellence and leadership that he embodied. Sponsored by the Top 3, an organization dedicated to fostering professional development and community among senior non-commissioned officers, this scholarship supports and empowers the next generation of leaders within the military. As we present this scholarship today, we honor not only Pete Piazza's incredible contributions, but also the potential of those who will carry on his legacy. Let us celebrate the dedication, resilience, and spirit of service that defines our military family. And the winner of the Piazza Scholarship is Staff Sergeant Alyssa Aguirre.
Representing the Chiefs Group, Chief Gordon, and the Tinkers Chiefs Group, please come forward to present the Chiefs Group Scholarship.
Come on, Chiefs.
There we go. You got the back.
The Tinker Chiefs Group, through their dedication to helping deserving enlisted airmen and their civilian spouses, has established a scholarship program to help them achieve their educational and professional goals. Their CCAF Continuing Education $250 grant recognizes enlisted and their civilian spouses, graduates of the Community College of the Air Force or civilian equivalent associate's degree program who seek to continue their educational goals through an accredited baccalaureate degree. The winner of the Chiefs Group Scholarship is Staff Sergeant Jordan Harrigan.
Colonel Dismukes, the floor is yours for closing remarks.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I love to see a room this full, especially for such an important day and an important ceremony. So thank you, distinguished visitors, commanders, senior enlisted leaders, first sergeants, supervisors, family, friends, most importantly, our graduates. Thank you so much for being here today. Right, I got so I've made a note that any script that I see where I have to speak after Sergeant Johnson, I'm just gonna bow out. So thank you for your inspiring personal story and what it means, what education means for the Air Force. So it was truly inspiring, and thank you for that. All right, graduates. All right, graduation day. So excited to be up here and to see you get your diplomas. So today marks a lot of discipline, dedication, hard work, many hours of work and studying, right? But it also symbolizes your dedication and your commitment to higher education, to growth, and to learning. And so it's why today marks such an important day, as Sergeant Johnson, right, talked about. And so as we look to the Air Force and what it means to have a formal education, right? The Air Force is the most educated service in the Department of Defense. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. So, and this is through the entire total force population. So our officers, our enlisted, our civilians, we have associates, bachelors, masters, doctorates, all throughout the force, right? And as you think, why is this important? Why is this degree important? I think there's a couple reasons, right? So I'm going to just go into two of those. The first one is content. The fact that we are the best Air Force in the world, and that's because of the people that are in the Air Force and what they bring to the fight, right? So we have a lot of technology. And as you listen to the degree programs that you guys now have diplomas for, I mean, talk about the breadth of knowledge, right, that we have in our Air Force. We're talking technology management, healthcare, legal, I'm trying to think of more, right?
Maintenance!
Maintenance,
Woo!
yeah, maintenance, logistics, right? So many. And what that means is you are subject matter experts. You have a craft, and you're going to use that craft to better the Air Force, and that's going to lead to mission success, mission readiness as we look to the future. And that is so important to the Air Force to have subject matter experts in our units, in our organizations. So that's number one. Number two is the skills that come along with that, right? So as you work through to get your degree, the probably dozens, what felt like hundreds or thousands of assignments, right, working towards your degree. So you have papers, projects, briefings, tests, anything like that, right? What you're using and what you're learning, not just that knowledge base, but the skills that come along with it. So I would say 100% who you were before you started the program to where you are now, you have increased in your skills for time management, for organization, for writing, potentially briefing. If you had group projects, leadership, maybe some conflict management, right? And so all of those skills you're now bringing to the table as well. Not just with the content, not just with the knowledge that you gained, but this huge skill set that you're going to bring back to the organization and in your personal lives, right? So with that, you look to the future and say, what does this mean? Well, I challenge you that this does not mark the end, right? It is absolutely a celebration in your accomplishment, but I say that this is just the beginning of your journey. I would venture to say that there is a more than 0% chance, right, that some of you sitting here today are going to go on to get your bachelor's, or your master's, or your doctorate. And I encourage you to do that if you have that desire, right? The Air Force is going to support you 100%. Your supervisors, your commanders, your command chiefs, they're going to support you in that because we understand the importance of it. And if you say, you know what, formal education, maybe not for me, I also challenge you to just continue that learning, continue that growth. Use those skill sets as you go back to your units. Your commanders, your supervisors are going to be looking towards you to be leaders. Because the future of the Air Force, not up on this stage, right? It's sitting right here in front of me. I'm really excited. I'm proud of your accomplishments. Everyone out here standing, right? Standing room only. Everyone seated is proud of you. Most importantly, you should be proud of this amazing accomplishment. With that, I'm going to get off the stage and we can celebrate with our friends and family. So,
Thank you, Colonel Dismukes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join us in singing the Air Force song. I'm not allowed to stand by the speakers.
1, 2, 3. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, soon to meet our thunder. At 'em now, give 'em the gun, give 'em the gun. Down we dive, starting our flames from under. Off with one.